Welcome to the Deconstructionist Deep Dive, the podcast that doesn't just accept the story.
We break it
We examine the pieces.
and expose the machinery inside.
Let's dive in.
Let's dive in.
So we're kicking off with a question for you. Think about this. Where in your own life have you maybe accepted a version of reality just because, well, it was easier than asking the really hard questions?
Yeah, because today we're definitely asking those hard questions. We are launching a deep dive into the really fascinating and, let's be honest, often deeply manipulative world of G.I. Gurdjieff's teachings.
That's right. Our mission here, it isn't just to, retell the story. It's to really dissect the ideas, expose the underlying control mechanisms, and show how these narratives get built to shape what people believe.
Exactly. We're taking the core tenets from the sources, the critical analyses of Gurdjieff's system, and we're going to cross-reference them, put them against broader philosophical, historical contexts.
And the whole point of this deep dive really is to empower you to start seeing similar patterns, not just in esoteric groups, but in systems and stories all around you, everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, so let's set the stage. Our subject is Gurdjieff, and he's often presented through this lens we're calling the Esoteric Hero's journey.
Right.
It's not just his life story. It's a very carefully crafted narrative. It frames his life like some epic quest for forgotten knowledge.
It's myth-making 101, isn't it?
Totally. You've got all the elements, the special child, these mysterious influences, hints of, supernatural stuff going on, grand pilgrimages to ancient sites, bumping into wise hidden figures, the prince, the professor.
Right, these archetypes.
Exactly. And it all leads to forming this secretive brotherhood.
And it's fascinating just how well that kind of storytelling works. I mean, this narrative, it's not just about making him sound intriguing. It's designed really deliberately to separate him from, the common man. When you hear that story, you, the listener, you're sort of subtly being told you're not him. You haven't seen what he's seen.
You need him.
Precisely. Therefore, you need him. It's like the oldest power trick in the book, really. Claim unique access to the divine or the ancient past.
And boom, instant hierarchy.
Exactly, an instant hierarchy of knowledge. He sits right at the top, undisputed, and it primes his audience to just accept things without question.
And that myth-making, it just perfectly sets up the next piece that we're calling the secret doctrine.
Okay.
So the core claim here is that there's this unified objective truth, capital T, or forgotten knowledge out there. It existed, people knew it in the past.
Good now.
But now it's held only by these secret brotherhoods or, well, how convenient, a single enlightened master like him. And what's really insidious here, I think, is how this whole premise, it just does this profound intellectual violence against the present moment, against your own experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because think about what that secret doctrine is telling you. Implicitly, it's saying your own life, your senses, your reason,
Yeah.
they're just not good enough.
Insufficient.
You
Yeah.
need someone else, an intermediary,
Yeah.
a translator for reality itself.
Right.
So by defining his kind of knowledge, this secret, ancient, objective stuff as real knowledge, Gurdjieff just automatically makes all other knowledge.
Like yours.
Yeah, your own insights, your lived experiences, your everyday understanding, it all becomes provisional, subjective, basically worthless in comparison.
He creates a scarcity.
He creates the scarcity of truth so he could be its sole distributor. It's exactly what Foucault talked about, isn't it? How that will to knowledge so often twists into a will to power. Control what counts as truth.
Okay, so he's established that scarcity. Truth is rare. You don't have it. Then he gives you the diagnosis for your condition. You are the broken machine man.
Oof, that's a potent metaphor.
Incredibly potent and insidious. It paints humanity as this, dysfunctional vehicle. You know, the analogy, the carriage, the horse, the driver, all out of whack.
Right, not working together.
And it desperately needs an external expert mechanic that's the guru to come in, fix it all up, and install a true master, the passenger, the real I.
It's just masterful psychological sleight of hand, though, because first, he taps into something really common, that feeling of inner fragmentation, being out of sync. I mean, who hasn't felt that sometime?
Right. It's relatable.
But then, boom, he immediately reframes that totally normal human unease as a problem that needs fixing. And his system, He is the only possible solution.
Sure, your feeling of emptiness or incompleteness.
It gets weaponized. It's turned into a sales pitch for his product. It's like
Yeah.
this cynical twist on Nietzsche almost. It's
Yeah.
basically saying, look, you're fundamentally broken.
And only I can put you back together.
Exactly. Only I can perform your restoration.
And just to really hammer home that dependence, the system introduces the necessity of suffering and difficulty.
Ah, yes. The work must be hard.
Oh, absolutely. The Gurdjieffian hierarchy, it intentionally creates unavoidable friction, really difficult conditions, often includes public humiliation, arbitrary command.
Things that make no logical sense sometimes.
Right. And crucially, all of this gets reframed. It's presented as this necessary, even benevolent tool for your awakening, for your growth.
What's so striking and frankly disturbing about that is the binding effect it has.
Wow.
Your suffering actually ties you more tightly to the system. It's paradoxical.
How so?
Well, if you dare to question the pain or the method causing the pain, you're not just questioning some technique. You're questioning your own salvation, your only path to wholeness, supposedly.
I see. So questioning the method becomes questioning your own commitment, your own desire to wake up.
Exactly. It's a perfect closed loop of control. Emma Goldman might have seen this as replacing external state tyranny with this insidious internal psychological tyranny.
We're policing yourself.
You're led to believe that your voluntary participation in all this hardship is actually for your own good.
And flowing directly from that enforced suffering, well, that lays the foundation for the guru's absolute authority.
Unquestionable authority.
Absolutely. Our sources, they're just filled with examples. These bizarre tests he'd conduct, the calculated role-playing.
The stories about the music transcription, reducing pupils to despair.
Yeah, that one's famous. His, quote, consummate art for upsetting any and all habits. This wasn't just about challenging students in a healthy way.
No.
It feels like a performance designed purely to assert his unquestionable power.
Precisely. The guru's behavior is often intentionally irrational. It seems designed to just break down your critical thinking.
Your ability to question.
Yeah. The implicit message is crystal clear. My methods are beyond your logic. Your reason can't grasp this, so just submit.
It's a demand for complete intellectual surrender.
But it's cleverly disguised, isn't it?
Yeah.
As transcending the ego. It tells you your own reason is actually the barrier, not the tool you need.
Okay, let's connect this to the practical side. Because all this profound teaching, this hidden knowledge, this path to awakening, it often needs something very mundane.
Money.
Funding. Which brings us neatly to the transaction of enlightenment. And here, you just find this breathtaking cognitive dissonance.
How so?
Well, you have the holy man, supposedly detached from worldly things, who somehow has to manage fisheries,
Geo carpets.
buy chateaus, tour America like a circus act.
All supposedly to fund his mission of non-attachment.
Exactly. The irony is just staggering.
It really throws what you could call the guru industry into sharp relief, doesn't it? It's like the spiritualized version of capitalism. First, convince people they have a fundamental problem only you understand, and then conveniently sell them the only solution. Your system, your workshops, your books.
It reminds me of David Graeber's concept of the bullshit job, but applied to the spiritual realm.
I mean,
Well, the money is always justified as being for the work. But the work is this term so incredibly vague, so all-encompassing.
it can justify anything.
Any expense, any luxury, any ethical compromise, it's all supposedly for these higher aims. It's an industry built on the very illusions it claims it can help you transcend.
Okay, let's widen the lens now. Let's use some contextual napalm, as we call it, and see how these patterns show up elsewhere. Take the secret doctrine, this idea of monopolized hidden truth.
Right. Where else do we see that?
Well, an obvious parallel is the historical claim of the Catholic Church to apostolic succession. That idea that they held the keys, monopolizing access to God, justifying their power structure.
Okay, that's a good comparison. And a contrast.
Contrast that with, say, Zen Buddhism, which really emphasizes direct personal experience, Kinshu Satori. Truth isn't in some secret text held by priests.
It's in your immediate perception, right here, right now.
Exactly. Unmediated.
Which really brings up that critical question again. What is truth and who gets to decide? Foucault's work is so relevant here, showing us that controlling the discourse, controlling what even counts as truth in the first place, that's maybe the fundamental operation of power in any society.
Gurdjieff's objective knowledge is basically his own carefully built regime of truth, designed purely to exert influence.
Okay, now let's look at the necessity of suffering. where pain gets reframed as this tool for growth.
We see echoes of that in systems like feudal serfdom, maybe, where suffering and endless labor were presented almost as a divine duty, maybe even a path to salvation in the next life.
Right, endure it now for later reward, but what's an alternative view?
Well, think about the Stoics, like Epictetus. They had a completely different take. They argued, look, you can't control external events, what happens to you,
Well, you can control
your
it.
judgments, your reactions. The goal isn't to be deliberately broken down by some system. It's to build this inner fortress of resilience, of wisdom within yourself.
Exactly, and someone like Emma Goldman, the anarchist thinker, she would have just fiercely rejected this kind of imposed suffering.
Oh, absolutely.
She argued that any system, any revolution that doesn't involve liberating joy and individual expression, well, it just isn't worth having.
Purposeful suffering just for a leader's cause, that's just oppression by another name.
Yeah, it connects directly to the kind of coercive tactics you see in authoritarian structures everywhere throughout history.
Okay, it feels like time for our deception manifesto. Let's systematically pull apart the core lies woven into this system. And then let's arm you, the listener, with a freedom lens to see right through them.
Let's do it. First up, Deception 1, the lie of the unique savior.
Okay, what's the mechanism here?
It's historical revisionism, really, an appeal to authority. The source of power is always the guru, the prophet, the spiritual hierarchy. Cross-culturally, it's that same old chosen prophet narrative, just repackaged again and again.
All right. And the freedom lens to counter that.
Listen closely. There are no saviors. There are only fellow travelers on the path. Anyone who claims they have the one definitive map for your unique journey, they're probably trying to sell you a timeshare in a prison they built themselves.
Okay, powerful. Next.
Deception 2, the lie of objective, lost knowledge.
The mechanism.
This is about suppressed evidence, creating false mysticism. The power source is often the academic or the esoteric complex itself, the keepers of the secrets. Cross-culturally, think Gnosticism, but updated. This idea that some divine spark of knowledge is trapped, hidden.
And only a select few have the key.
Exactly.
And the freedom lens for that one.
Truth is not a noun you can possess like an object. It's a verb. It's something to be lived. It gets created right now, in the present, through interaction, through questioning, not dug up from some dead past. Your own experience, your own honest inquiry, that's the only laboratory that truly matters.
Got it. Deception number 3.
Deception 3, the lie of your inherent brokenness.
Mech.
This is a classic false dichotomy. Psychological coercion, the source of power. Sometimes, ironically, the very self-help or therapeutic industries that claim they want to fix you. Cross-culturally, you see it in the Christian doctrine of original sin, but secularized. You're born flawed, and you have to spend your life atoning or working or fixing yourself according to our specific system.
Okay, freedom lens time.
You are not a machine that needs fixing. You are a flow, a process, something to be experienced. That feeling of fragmentation, it isn't some design flaw in you. It might just be the price of being conscious, of being complex. Integration is the path, not replacement. Your so-called weakness is actually your humanity.
Okay, moving on.
Deception 4, the lie of redemptive cruelty.
The mechanism here feels pretty dark.
It is. It's fear-based control. It's a logical fallacy, often an appeal to consequences. If you don't accept this pain, you won't grow. It's the source of power for basically all totalitarian systems, cross-culturally. Think of the tough love rationale used by an abusive parent, just scaled up.
I hurt you because I love you. It's for your own good.
Joan. Exactly that.
And the freedom lens.
Growth requires challenge, yes, but not cruelty. Wisdom can absolutely be kind. A teacher who feels the need to humiliate you isn't a teacher. They're probably a sadist enjoying their power dynamic. Real strength fosters strength in others. It doesn't need to break them just to prove its own superiority.
Right. Final deception.
Deception 5, the law of the debt you owe.
Mechanism.
This is straight-up emotional blackmail, often mixed with economic coercion. The source of power is what we could call the spiritual capitalist. Cross-culturally, it's like the old feudal obligation of a serf to his lord, but given a spiritual gloss.
I gave you the truth, the enlightenment, now you owe me. You must work my land, pay my fees, support my lifestyle.
Precisely.
Okay, the final freedom lens to cut through this.
You owe absolutely nothing to any person just for the act of them speaking words to you. If an idea has genuine value, you validate it through your own life, through your own experience, not because of the speaker's grand biography or claims. Any system that demands repayment for enlightenment isn't a community, it's a corporation.
Okay, so if we pull all of that together, synthesize it, the central unifying lie holding up Gurdjieff's system, and frankly, so many others like it.
What is it?
It's this, that you are fundamentally, inherently incomplete. And because of that, you require the authority of some specialized master and his particular system just to become whole.
And this right here, this understanding, this is your call to intellectual liberation, this kind of rigorous analysis we've just done. That's your weapon.
Because the prison, let's be honest, it's made of ideas, which means it can be dismantled by better ideas, sharper thinking.
Exactly. Gurdjieff's entire edifice, when you look closely, it's like this magnificent gilded cage, looks impressive, feels profound maybe. It offers you the illusion of self-mastery while subtly, constantly demanding the reality of your submission. It diagnoses you as asleep, specifically so you become dependent on its alarm clock.
It offers you a new self only after you've kind of handed over your own authentic one. It's time to just dismantle that whole illusion. Start from the foundations.
So trust that doubt, that little feeling in your gut that makes you pause when you encounter the arbitrary cruelty, that questions the endless fundraising cycles, that just wonders why someone supposedly so profound needs to play these, frankly, childish power games.
That doubt isn't your weakness. Don't let anyone tell you it is. It's the vital seed of your intellectual freedom. It's like Diogenes' lamp shining bright.
And it's searching for an honest person within you, not some holy guru to follow blindly.
Your mind. That's the one thing they can never truly own unless you willingly hand it over. So stop handing it over.
Learn to see with that eagle's eye perspective we talked about. See the power structures being built right in front of you. See the borrowed myths being recycled for the 100th time. See the economic engine that's always humming away just beneath the spiritual veneer.
Be free.
Yeah.
Seriously. Be free. Not like some machine that got a new passenger installed.
No.
But as a human being. Flawed, yes. Glorious, also yes. And ultimately answerable to nothing and no one but your own direct experience and the real-world consequences of your actions.
Your liberation isn't hiding in some secret book or some hidden teaching whispered in a cave.
Where is it then?
It's right here. It's in the unwavering trust that you and you alone are the final authority on your own life.
And that's our deep dive for this week.
Remember, the most dangerous illusion is the one you don't know you're in.
But now you know. So here's our question for you.
Where have you accepted a reality, maybe without realizing it, just to avoid asking a hard question? Was it a job, a belief system, maybe even a relationship? Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments.
Question the narrative.
Deconstruct the dogma.
See the system.
We'll see you next time. Stay skeptical.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.